3, 2.
Good afternoon, and welcome to the 12-minute edition of WDSU TV News. I'm Kendal Bunch, and I will be updating you on the status of Chancellor Lorenz and the legalization of marijuana. There have been several reported shootings that have taken place, and I will be updating you on those stories and more on WDSU TV News. A soldier opened fire at Fort Hood Military Base in Texas. Ivan Lopez shot and killed 3 people and wounded 16 others before committing suicide on Wednesday. Investigators say that they believe Lopez's combat experience caused lingering psychological trauma. Police are still investigating and have not released any more information. A Baton Rouge teen is sitting behind bars on 3 counts of first-degree murder charges. 15-year-old Marcel Franklin, 15-year-old Kendal Dorsey, and 18-year-old DeAndre Claiborne died from the injuries that night. But Baker Police is still investigating the shootings and have not released any information at the time. Police are asking anyone who knows any information to contact Crime Stoppers. Southern University's chancellor's contract has become a hot topic around campus. We have our lead reporter, Ebony Hollins, who has more on the story.
Southern University Student Government Association called an emergency meeting to discuss Chancellor Lorenz's contract. After students were aware of his contract not being renewed, they immediately united with support for him. Chancellor Lorenz says he was honored by the support he received from the student body.
Southern University will go forward. I pledge to you my support for you, for this university, for as long as I live. Whatever breath I have, whatever I do, I'm committed to this university.
The student body was not the only ones in support of Chancellor Lorenz. Many of the board members were also in support of him.
Chancellor Lorenz continued time after time to remind people Southern University is not just an option. Southern University wasn't just an option for me. Southern University was the only choice for me.
Today, we do stand to supporting Jim Lorenz's position as Chancellor for Southern University.
During the emergency board meeting, the student body had a chance to ask the president about Chancellor Lorenz's contract. Former SGA President Willie McCorkle was one of many students that raised a question to the president.
To have the courage to face the students on why they made the decision they made.
According to SGA President Simone Bray, a board member can call an emergency board meeting with the help of 7 or more board members. But as of right now, Chancellor Lorenz is out of the chancellor position as of June 30th. Reporting outside of the chancellor's office, this is Ebony Hollins with WDSU TV News. Back to you, Kendal.
2 Baton Rouge men are sitting behind bars for a hit-and-run accident on I-10. 21-year-old Carl McKnight and 29-year-old Eric Abrams was arrested in the death of Troy Jacobson. Police officials believe Jacobson was hit by a blue-colored car on College Drive on I-10 Interstate. Abrams, who owns a blue Civic, took his car to a body shop on Siegel Lane and then tried to file an insurance claim for damages. Both men are being held at Parish Prison on felony charges. A roofing problem is the reason why Southern University resident housing, Toddy Hall, shot into flames. Maintenance crew was working on the leak when at the top of the roof, short time later, Baton Rouge Fire Department responded to an offset alarm to find Toddy Hall in flames. Housing Director Tracy Abraham says there was about 30 students present at the time. The fire was seized quickly and no one was injured. Brittney, Southern University isn't the only one being on top, is it?
Yeah, UConn's basketball program is on fire now, and we have more with sports coming up next. Welcome back to WSU TV Sports. An NCAA title game took place in Arlington, Texas at the AT&T Stadium. Number 17 UConn took on Kentucky number 8. Let's jump right into action. 5 freshman players from Kentucky fell short from the more experienced UConn team. UConn senior guard Shabazz Napier had 22 points, 6 rebounds, and 3 assists. UConn was shooting 41% from the field, and Kentucky was 39% from the field. Kentucky's downfall in the game was their free throws. They shot 24 and made 13, where UConn was perfect and made every free throw they shot. The first half ended with Kentucky being down 4 points, 31-35, despite the Kentucky run at the end of the first half. The final score was 60-54, with UConn seizing the national title. Meanwhile, at the Bridgestone Arena in Nashville, Tennessee, UConn and Notre Dame ladies battle for the title in the Women's Championship. NCAA Division I, Breanna Stewart led UConn, scoring averaging 22 points. Behind her led Stephanie Dawson, scoring 17 points, 16 rebounds, and 7 assists. By the half, UConn led the fight 45-38, finishing the game 79-58. That's all for sports. More of the news after the break.
In other news, legalization of marijuana has been a hot topic in America. Here's more on that story.
So we're basically let the feeding frenzy begin.
With seemingly everyone wanting a cut of Colorado's pot taxes for the first time, the Joint Budget Committee took up the debate on how to dole the dollars out. And new numbers show sales aren't quite what the state expected.
We're not seeing the number of individuals using recreational marijuana that everybody originally thought that would happen. So because of that, it's very difficult for us to budget as to how do we spend dollars that we don't know whether we will or won't have.
Not only are sales lower than projected, so too are the number of businesses approved to sell it. The state expected to approve 110 businesses the first month. Only about half that number, 59, were approved as of February 1st.
They missed the mark. And so the volatility, the unpredictability of this revenue stream is one of the reasons why I think it's the prudent and responsible policy for us to spend these monies in arrears looking at last year's actual collection.
Meaning they won't spend money they don't have yet, except this year. The Budget Committee will create a mini-budget for the tax dollars collected in the first 6 months, an estimated $20 million. Far below the $54 million the governor budgeted for. Like the governor, the committee plans to put much of the money toward prevention programs to protect kids. The legislature will have the final say.
And if there's amendments and feeding frenzies and shopping sprees and lots of lobbying that takes place around this, so be it.
Remember, you can tune into WDSU TV News every day at www.subr.edu/newscast. Thank you for tuning in to WDSU TV News. I'm Kendal Bunch.
And I'm Brittney Willerby.
See you next time.